a big key in all this, the reason why I picked up guitar, started music. I lost my dad when I was 7. We're going on 15 years this October.
Yeah.
So that's why I know I've been playing for almost 15 years, because as a kid that was my coping mechanism. I know for people like music is different for them, but for me it was literally the thing that pulled me out, It was the thing that stopped me from making a lot of excuses. Writing music, being able to pour my heart out into all that stuff for sure brought me through it. I wrote my dad's song when I was 17. It took me a while to get there. It wasn't overnight, but I know writing that song put like the end in that book, which was needed.
First, let me just put some context for people to understand where I met you. I met you because you came in and played guitar on Emma Bordelon's album recently, and amazing guitar work on those 2 songs. Thank you for doing that. I think it heightened the track. But when I heard you play, I was like, man, you're a real musician. Like, there's a difference between people that can play, and then and a difference between people that can play and then people that can really bring a flavor to something. And I felt like what you were doing, you had a specific flavor that you brought to that track, and so it was really cool. Secondly is I went to your Instagram afterwards, and I noticed that, hey, you're singing, and you're like, you have song ideas, and you were like, hey, I got a new idea today. You're posting it up. So I was like, oh man, this guy. So give people a little context of what you're doing as a musician, what you're doing as a songwriter. I heard that you were in a band, but I don't know. Give people the context of what you're doing.
I've been writing music since I wrote my first song when I was 13.
Yeah.
Very bad. Oh, it's very, very bad. But it got me started, I've been playing guitar since I was 7. I'll be 22, so I'm going on 15 years playing guitar.
Sweet.
As of now, I am in a band. Our name is Hiraeth.
Okay.
It's a Welsh word meaning longing for a home that you can't go back to or doesn't exist. So like that's our, sad songs, it's my thing.
Are you singing and playing guitar?
Yeah, I'm singing and play guitar. We're a 3-piece.
Okay.
We would love to have another guitar player to like fill in kind of like the heavier things that I don't really play. Mm-hmm. I am very much more of like a neo soul guitar player. So jazz, blues, R&B, gospel. That's what I do. That's what I'm good at.
Is that the type of music that you grew up listening to? Not really.
Not really.
You kind of gravitated towards that?
When I was 13, I found John Mayer's album Continuum.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And it changed my life. It was the first year I wrote a song. It was like, it literally, like, it took me from being a chord player to a guitar player. And there's a difference. Anyone can pick up a guitar and put their fingers on a string and make a chord. It's not that hard. Mm-hmm. Like, within 6 months or less than, you can play a song. It's cheesy.
The bass is even easier.
Hold on. Yes,
I'm a bass player.
Okay.
I mean, say that.
Yeah, but like when you find like a good bass player, it's dope.
Yeah.
So guitar, it's not that hard to learn chords. So like from 7 to 13, I read music. I do read music for guitar. It's a dying art form in guitar players.
Yeah.
Not a lot of guitar players read music anymore.
Like staff music.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's how I started. Both my grandpas play. One plays classical music and one plays more bluesy stuff.
Cool.
So my right hand does a lot of classical techniques and my left hand does a lot of bluesy stuff, and that's my sound. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my band Hiraeth, it was really cool. My bass player, his name's Keegan Kelly.
Okay.
He was in a Houston band that was pretty big called Oceans of Slumber.
Okay.
He was their bass player, like toured like Europe, like real big bass player, and he happens to be the customer service manager at Guitar Center in Clear Lake.
Gotcha.
And I go in there all the time, and so much to the point where he was like, hey, I like what you do. Like,
were you jamming on guitar there at Guitar Center?
Yep. They've heard me play songs. So my close group of friends all work at Guitar Center. And I live with 2 of them.
Gotcha.
I'm close with them.
Yeah,
I live with my drummer.
Yeah.
Like we're close. He also works at Guitar Center.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's the connection that binds everybody together.
The good old GC.
Yeah.
So our music, as of now, we're working on more music. So we started in December of 2018. That's also when I started barber school. That's how I'm able to put those together. That's that part of my life.
Okay.
And we didn't play our first show until November of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
We had almost a year of playing together every Thursday and like almost every other Sunday together, of like really getting our stuff tight. And like,
Yeah, you mentioned band practice. I was like, that's
Yeah.
I mean, serious.
I want us to sound like we've been playing together for a long time the first time someone hears us. I don't want them to think that we just like, we're a couple of buddies who got together like, oh yeah, you know, let's play some music. Like, no, this is something that we take seriously.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
put effort into it.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just playing guitar, or we're not just playing drums and bass and trying to make something just happen. Like, we're making it happen. Like, there's hours put into it.
Yeah. When it comes to the songwriting side of things, are you the main songwriter? Do y'all work together? What's the dynamic of that?
I will write all the lyrics is me.
Okay.
The basic chord structure for the most part is me. But they write their parts. They're very talented musicians. They write their parts, and my drummer is like a progressive metal drummer. My bass player is like a heavy metal bass player. And then there's me, the neo soul guitarist. I can't write their parts for them.
That sounds really interesting.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Do y'all have music out yet?
Not yet.
Okay. You're
We
working
have
on it.
like a scratch track of stuff to like,
Okay.
if a venue asks like, hey, what do you sound like we can give them that, but it's nothing like we want people to really listen to yet.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that combination of things sounds really interesting. And
It's cool. Because it's so much, because we have such different, since we have different backgrounds, the way that I've like described our music, if you were to put like all of our music on an album, it'd be like a ambient progressive blues rock kind of thing, because it's all of those things. Some of this stuff is like, oh, that's a blues song.
yeah.
And then some of it's like, well, that's not bluesy at all. Because like, so the writing process for me, I have to take into consideration, like,
Yeah.
I'm playing with someone who's a progressive metal drummer. I need to write songs that are gonna highlight that.
Mm-hmm.
I play with someone who's a heavier bass player and can do these kind of like really cool bass riffs. I need to be able to write something that's gonna highlight that.
Yeah.
I can't just think like would I be happy if I only wrote neo soul music? Yes, it'd be super fun. That's what I do. That's what I like doing.
You feel like it stretches you.
It's growing me as a musician for sure.
Yeah.
Growing me as a musician for sure. I'm getting into more technical styles of playing that I normally don't do. So that's really cool. But also, it's like it wouldn't be fair to the talented musicians that are in the group with me to only play this kind of music when like the thing that they do best is something else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
So how long have you guys been making music together?
Since December 2018.
Okay.
A little more than a year.
Okay. Awesome, man. Well, dude, I'd love to come see you live. That'd be cool. Are
We
y'all
had-
playing live? I know
so-
things now are kind of chill, but
Before everything, we had a show back in January at Scout Bar.
Okay.
That was fun. We want to play more, but we also want to write a few more songs because it's crazy. So the first song we wrote together, like the thing that made us, right? Because it's like the thing that we had to work on first.
yeah, bonded y'all together.
Like we don't like playing it anymore.
Oh.
And it's probably because it's the song we played the most. That's probably what it is. But like, I think our sound is starting to go somewhere, and like, it's not there anymore.
One of the things I remember about your session that you were playing with Emma is, man, you were so passionate in regards to like playing. Like there was an energy about you. I remember you were spinning around constantly and just had a bunch of just energy. You know, it's some people like to sit down and play and all this kind of stuff, but you're like, I'm gonna stand and play, and I really like resonate with that because there's a performance side of music that making a song in the studio is awesome, but the performance, like John Mayer as an example, loved his records, but when I saw a live DVD of him, I was like, oh, okay, now you're not a songwriter anymore to me. You're a performer, a musician. Yeah. It blew my mind, like what he could do live. And so I was like, so for you, like, is that something that you think about, something that comes out when you perform?
No. I grew up playing at a church. I was able to be more expressive, you know? Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a church where I had to like, you know, stay still and, you know, don't move your quarter. Like, no, like I was able to, I was able to move around and express myself. And that's definitely like carried through. I 100% believe that playing lead guitar at churches, although it may be simple, one, taught me tone. Two, taught me how to be simple. how to not do too much.
Yeah,
because that's a real thing in playing lead guitar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So the I don't really think about it. It just is kind of there.
It just kind of comes out when you start playing.
And the truth is, sometimes it's not there because I don't feel like playing. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
You get you start playing for so long that either like if I've been playing guitar for too long, I'm like I'll switch it up and I'll start playing piano, and then that energy comes back. Because I'm switching it up. I'm not doing the same thing. It's different.
Yeah.
So I'll do that sometimes to switch it up to bring that energy back, because it's boring to play without that energy.
I completely agree. Being a musician, did it start from you there, and then at some point you were like, hey, I'd like to write some songs too? Or like, because I find like there's a separation between musicians and songwriters, but you kind of seem to exist in the middle and do both pretty well. So
I always say that forefront, I'm a guitar player. Like, that's what I do the best. I'm a guitar player. It's what I've been doing the longest.
Yeah.
It's what I've been the most consistent at, you know? And then second, I'm a songwriter, for sure. I love writing music. I think I was 13 when I wrote my first song.
Yeah.
And I was a 13 emotional little boy. I wrote a song about a girl.
What was the name?
Oh man, I never named songs.
Oh really?
I'm so bad about it. So to tell you how bad I am about it, the Hiraeth project, we have seven songs total. To me, they're 1 through 7. I know what song they are based off of the number. I don't know that you can't. I don't name them.
Yeah.
I'm like, one of them. We live at my friend Adrian's house, so we call one of them Adrian's house. Like, that's how boring I am. Like, names aren't my thing. That's not what I do.
Yeah.
I'll write the song, but I can't figure out a clever name.
Well, where do the ideas for your songs come from? Like,
that's fair.
what are you writing about?
Most of the time, they are sad. They are. I write sad songs. I do.
I like a good sad song.
It's not always from my perspective. It's not all, like I'll sing it from my perspective, but it's not always about me necessarily. I have had some songs where I've seen my friend go through something, and like I try to put myself in their shoes and like and how I'd feel through that. Some songs I've written, about family. When I was 17, I wrote a song about my dad. So like a big key in all this, the reason why I picked up guitar, started music. I lost my dad when I was 7.
Wow. So,
we're going on 15 years this October.
Yeah.
So that's why I know I've been playing for almost 15 years, because as a kid that was my coping mechanism.
yeah, it was connected.
It's guitar music. Like, when I know for people, like, music is different for them, but for me it was literally the thing that pulled me out. It was the thing that stopped me from making a lot of excuses. So like my dad dealt with like he was bipolar, and my dad ended up killing himself. And was it hard? Yes. Unbelievable. I didn't find out till I was 14.
Wow.
But for sure, writing music, being able to pour my heart out into all that stuff, for sure brought me through it. Like I said, I wrote my dad's song when I was 17. It took me a while to get there.
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't overnight.
Yeah.
But I know writing that song put like the end in that book, the end in that chapter.
Yeah.
Which was needed.
Yeah.
Was needed for sure.
Man, that's powerful. So when you do a lot of your songs come from your own experience of stuff that
it's
happens?
a good mix.
Yeah.
It's a good mix.
Yeah.
I get attached really easily. It's really bad.
Like you like too much, and then you like.
Well, like just in general, I get
okay.
attached easily
Okay.
to friends.
Okay.
To if there's a girl that I like, I get attached easily. 99% of the time, they don't share said feelings back for me,
Sure.
which is fine. But I get attached easily. So like that, it just breaks me. So I'm working on not getting attached. I'm working on that.
Yeah, a healthy attachment.
Yes.
But then you write songs and you're inspired by that connection.
It literally like sometimes I really think it's gonna head one way, and then like it's a hard left turn, and a song will come out of it, and then like sometimes people think like, so like when you're in like a really bad place, you just write music. I'm like, no, when I'm in a really bad place, I'm in a really bad place. I'm not doing anything. Like, it's when I'm reflecting on it. That's when the
like
music
after,
comes. It's
yeah.
after. It's not during.
Yeah.
During, you're going through it.
Right.
Like, I don't want people to think that like like I'm getting my heart broken or whatever it is.
While you're writing a song?
And I'm like, okay, all right, now that's where this line goes. And like, no, that's not what it is. Like I heal from it, you know, and then I reflect on it. And that's where a song can come from.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Sponsorship. If you are a songwriter, a musician, a rapper in the Houston area, if you need a place to record, someone to work with you on your music, make your songs the best that they can be, then feel free to reach out to me, 150music.com. Fill out the free quote request. And if you put in the discount code SNACktime, then I'll give you 15% off our first project together. So let's do it. Now back to the show.
Is your process like, people say like, oh, I'm more on the like wait till inspiration hits, and some people are like, I write something every day. Like, what's the dynamic of discipline when it comes to being a musician, but B, trying to write songs?
Musician side, I can write something every day, no problem. I love reading books. I love reading new techniques. When I learn songs, I don't learn songs to learn songs. I learn songs to learn the techniques that they use in their songs that I like.
Gotcha.
That all day, I can do that all the time. Songwriting, because I'm a musician, I always write the music first. I've never started with lyrics and try to put a melody to lyrics.
You have a guitar progression, something cool, vibey, and then you're like, ooh, what could go with this?
And I'll sing a melody, no words, just the melody. Yeah. See how I like it, see how it flows. I'm like, okay, I can mess with that. And then I'm like, okay, what do I want this to be about? And that's my thing. Like, am I gonna be sad? Yes, I am. Now, what kind of sad?
Yeah. What degree?
Is it that I realize it's time for me to leave? Or is it, oh, she left me and I'm broken? Because it's always one of the two, you know?
I ask people about failure. And the reason I ask about that is because, you know, it's not easy to be a musician, to be in a band, to write songs. Like, this is not, like, it's always very glamorized, but it's not. Like, it's can be a grind. And, like, there can be a lot of bad ideas. There can be a lot of bad songs. Like, but you have to push through that in order to get to the good stuff. Do you find as that resonate with you?
Oh goodness, some of the songs I've written. I think maybe musically not so bad, lyrically very bad. Because by the time I'd started writing music, like singer-songwriter stuff, I'd already been playing for like 5 years. So like musically it was okay. You know, it wasn't bad. It was okay. But lyrics were rough.
It's a skill, like writing lyrics that make sense, that are thought-provoking.
I do a weird thing.
Okay.
I've never written down lyrics to my songs, ever.
They're all in your head?
They're all in my head. I've never written down, ever. I have a very strong rule. If I can't remember it, but I can remember someone else's song, I didn't like it enough to remember it.
So when you learn someone else's song, does it work the same way where like you know every piece of it in your head?
If I know it, I know it. And if I don't like it, I won't know it.
How many John Mayer songs do you know in your head?
Almost all of them.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. So it has to be good enough to stick, literally.
I don't, if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, well, I don't like it enough to remember it.
Do you record it on your iPhone? I mean, you have to keep these ideas going, right? Like,
I just play them.
You play them until you,
I don't know how it works.
You might be the first person I've talked to that
it's weird.
That does stuff
It's
like
really
that.
weird. I know it's really weird. I've had a lot of friends tell me, you're really weird about that. You don't want to write it down?
Well, I also wonder, like, if you did write your ideas down or document or store your ideas some way, maybe some of those ideas that you weren't able to finish in that moment, maybe you could come back to and finish those later. But I don't know.
So if I start something, I'm going to finish it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to finish it till its fullest. If it's just a music piece.
Like you'll sit there for hours until you figure it out.
Not necessarily hours, but I'll sit there for it, mess with it for a bit, take a break from it, come back to it. Normally when I write a song, it's not like this whole lengthy process of like weeks to write a song. Like if I'm writing a song, I'm writing the song. Like it's going to happen within the next day or two. It'll be pretty much done. Musically, lyrics takes me a little bit longer, but musically, all the components to it.
Yeah, because you can write the chords, the melody, and then come back later and try to figure out how to put the lyrics
on there.
You don't write down your lyrics either?
I don't write down the lyrics. No chords, no lyrics, nothing.
Very interesting.
But so the Nashville number system.
Yeah.
I use it religiously.
Yeah. Me too.
So I don't think like if I'm playing in the key of D and I'm playing B minor G A, I don't think B minor G A. I think, oh, I'm playing the 6 and the 4 and the 5. So it makes it easier. I think maybe that's part of it. But also like I know what feels right and I know what doesn't feel right. And like if this doesn't feel right, I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna figure it out.
So like the songs that you post on Instagram, are those developed enough, like full songs, or they just ideas? Yeah.
Most of the time, I already wrote the song, and I just wanted to like put it out there to see how people vibed with it.
Yeah.
Almost, I would say 95% of those posts, they were already written.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if people liked them.
Well, and that's a good point because, you know, we live in a world where like you can literally put your songs out every day on whatever platform you want to, and there's no gatekeepers anymore. So like you could put a song up and see what kind of response you get back from it. And I think that's a beautiful feedback loop, you know, like have you found that has either affirmed ideas or like shot down ideas that you had?
I've had a few affirmations like, oh man, I vibe with this. It happens. But so when you're like a business page, like on Instagram, you can see how many interactions you get.
Oh, that's cool.
So to see so many interactions and no reaction, you can see how many people looked at it, viewed it, and you're not getting anything back.
A heart or like a
like, a comment of, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know that you like, they may not have disliked it, but they didn't like it enough to like it or comment on it, you know?
To take an action.
Yeah. So I think about stuff like that.
Do you follow other bands and other artists and other pretty closely, like the bands that you like or people that you like? Not really? You're kind of like in your own, focus on yourself. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just was.
I do listen to. I'll get like these moments of like, man, I really want to listen to. Like, really for the last year, I've been really into like Polyphia.
Okay.
Like a lot because it's a completely different. So they're like progressive art, like art rock kind of stuff. Super good, super talented. Very different music than what I actually play, which is good.
Yeah.
I like doing that because it's growing me. You know, trying to learn their song is challenging for me.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have me sit down with like a bluesy song, like if you give me a couple hours, I'll know the song.
Yeah.
But like with their stuff, it takes me weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm not, and it was the first challenge I had in a while, not to be boastful, just to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I've gone so far with my bluesy stuff and my jazzy stuff. I want to, or with like my bluesy jazzy stuff because I don't really play jazz, but that's taken me to the furthest that it could theoretically. So like I wanted more. So like that's where the more comes in from.
Cool, man.
But I don't really follow too many artists like, oh man, I have to go see this person. If I don't, like I'm just gonna, you know, that's never really been me. John Mayer's the one person that I haven't seen live that I'd really love to see live one day.
So good. I haven't seen him live either, but as you think about yourself as a musician, songwriter, band, all that kind of stuff, 2020, what would you say is you could take it short term, you could take it long term, but like what would be success for what you're trying to do? You have a 9 to 5, you cut hair, you're a barber, you're in a band, you're making music. Like, what does it look like for you when it comes to like what success looks like?
Obviously, if I could theoretically be big,
Dude, go big.
it'd be great. I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Rich and famous.
Not even rich and famous. If I could just live off of it,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
If I could live off of music, cool. And then I could just cut hair for fun. You know, because I do enjoy cutting hair.
You do.
I love cutting
It's
hair.
not just like a
no,
day
no,
job.
no. Like I love cutting hair.
That's cool.
It's art. It's a different kind of art.
Yeah, sure.
I've always said that I make my music for me. It's for me. If people like it, great. If people don't like it, it's okay. I didn't make it for you. I made it for me. It's for me to get my stuff off my chest, or I'll write it for some, you know, specifically someone. But like, for the most, you know, when I write a song, it's to get some stuff off my chest.
Yeah.
If you relate to it, you relate to it. If you don't, you don't. It's not like I don't like.
I think that's healthy because I think you can think too much about what people think about stuff. And
Yeah. Oh, hey, I have to think like this. If not, it's gonna eat me up. I can't be worried about what people like. Do I listen to rap very much? No, I don't. I don't listen to a lot of rap. So like, if I have a buddy of mine who like raps and like that's what he does, like I'm not gonna like tell him like, oh man, it's just not really what I like. No, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna support it, but it's not really my thing.
yeah.
Yeah. And I have to understand that there are other people who like the kind of music that I play. I understand is not a lot of people's things. I am a 21-year-old Hispanic male who like listens and plays neo soul guitar. Like it's a little weird. Like it's a little out there, but it's fun.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Do you cut your band members' hair?
They all have long hair.
And they won't let you touch it?
They don't cut it. They just
I had long hair last year, and when I went to the get my hair cut, the lady was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" I'm like, "Lady, I came here for you to cut my hair." She's like,
Did you regret
sure?
it? Did you regret it afterwards?
No.
No?
For about a month or so, and then I was like, "Man, I kind of miss my long hair."
Yeah.
And then I went in between. Now I went. It's a whole thing, but
Did
you have long hair?
Oh, I've had my hair down to here.
Oh, okay.
Plenty of times.
Yeah.
I've always kept an undercut. Right now I'm growing out a mullet.
Okay. Is there a strategy behind that, or it's just for fun?
So there is strategy.
The mullet is fun.
It is fun,
Yeah.
but there is strategy. What I want to do is do like an undercut mohawk that goes all the way down.
Very cool.
I've had it before. I want to go back to it.
Okay.
I just want the back to grow out,
Yeah.
which cutting it the way I'm cutting it will turn it into a mullet for now. But it's dope. They're
Yeah.
coming in. I've cut so many mullets, like so many more than I thought I would have.
Really?
Yeah, I cut one that like came out really well. I'm like, I want a mullet.
Okay, so on the flip side of the success question, what would you say is either you or your band's like what's something that you feel like is a struggle? Like what are some of the struggles when it comes to making music?
I mean, we practice every week. You know, it's not like it's not so much a struggle.
Yeah, because you guys probably are pretty tight, right?
We're pretty tight.
Yeah.
We are. I mean, it was a struggle in the beginning playing with my drummer. Like me and him didn't mesh naturally. It did take work and practice, but we've been doing it for so long that it happens now.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of a struggle in the beginning.
Yeah.
Now it's just getting shows like pre-corona, you know?
Yeah. What were you doing to try to get shows?
Like
or
we have, I
calling
have a
around?
buddy named Angel who he'll do sound at like House of Blues sometimes. He'll do sound at Scout. That's where he did it for a long time. He did like the emo night at Scout. He's a buddy of ours. He plays in another Houston band, Balancing Lipstick. Yeah, he's a bass player for that. So I'd hit him up. We have another buddy of ours, Kevin Fan. He plays bass in Jonah the Runner, which is a Baytown band.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
So they're some of my good buddies.
Okay, cool.
At least Kevin, me and Kevin are close.
Mm-hmm.
I cut his hair.
Nice. So that's not a problem. You sound good.
Yeah, so we sound
Is the
good.
problem getting people's
It's just getting
attention?
shows. Yeah,
Getting
it's just
shows.
getting attention.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is not having content.
Because when people see you, they're like, "Where can I hear more of this?"
And I can't. And that's why
It's
I
not
didn't.
there yet.
I didn't want to play a show. That's why I put. That's another reason why I put off so long. I didn't want to have a show. People want to listen to listen to my music, and me not be able to give them anything.
Yeah.
And that's what ended up happening. They liked it. They wanted to listen to it. They can't listen to it. Yeah, they'll follow the Instagram page or whatever, but like, it gets lost in so many other people that they follow.
Yeah. I would say that's the biggest thing that I hear is like, because I meet so many talent. I mean, think about like The Voice or something. Like, there's so many crazy talented people in the world, but like, how come they're all not like hugely successful? There's so much more than that, and there's that business side of things where you have to treat yourself like a business, and you know, I mean, everything from gigging to finances to like expenses. I mean, there's just all that kind of stuff that most people, they forget. And it's easy to forget because you kind of like, as a musician, you're just like, man, I just love, because like when I grew up in Dallas, like I would just love playing at the bars, playing at all those places. Like just to play was like, I didn't care what people were doing. Like just to play was that was like what I lived for.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of get to a point where it's like, if that can't be it, if you want to meet your goals,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to actually do something, then there has to be strategy and plans. And just like, even if you fail at all that stuff, it's like, you have to put something together in order to get and to achieve something. So I don't know. I just didn't know if you thought about your band or your songwriting like that, like more as like a business type thing.
It's something that I'm like, I have to work on. So like I'm able to relay it back to like being a barber because I do booth rent, which means I'm not an employee of the place I work at.
Okay. Yeah.
I work there.
So you
do
get work
there.
because you are talking. I mean, you have to
Right.
like make it a point.
Right. And it's very similar with music. I have to make it a point. That's why like it's important to be consistent in Instagram posting, on Facebook,
Yeah.
on doing live videos, having them see you play. Like they have to be reminded. People forget because there's much bigger people that they remember.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What song are you going to perform today
I'm gonna play piano today.
Okay.
And remember, I don't really have names for
Is
songs.
this number 32?
I would say, I mean,
What's it about? Or is there any context for the song?
I was just kind of down one day.
Okay.
No specific reason. I deal a lot with that. It sucks, but it's
Yeah,
part of me. So
okay.
let's make it work for me. I was down one day, so I
Were you playing on? You have a piano set up?
Yeah,
or
we have a piano at the
keyboard?
house.
Okay, cool.
It's set up in our living room. It's just a little keyboard. I was playing it. All I was doing at the moment was trying to figure out like different voicings for like these chords that I liked. Because I and also like I always play in the same key, so I was trying to write in a different key, and I found this progression. It was simple. I'm a simple dude, so
Yeah.
it's like the song has like 3-4 chords in it.
Yeah.
I grew up playing in churches, you know.
Yeah.
Simple.
Simple's the way to go, man. People over create songs, overproduce songs, over everything. Play too much. Simple's the way to go.
So I was working on it, and I just had this feeling that was kind of sad, and I just kind of like had it come out. And the whole idea of the song is like, even when like at the end of the day, like we're over, like it's done, like you're still the one. Like it's still you. Like I still want you.
Yeah, not me specifically, but
Not you.
whoever.
specifically. Yeah.
Do you write songs like that where like people could take it in a few different ways? Do you like that, or do you kind of write like more specifically about? Do you know? Is it more on the
On the nose, like-
on the nose? That's what I
yeah.
was thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I think on the nose probably like 75% of the time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I really, now obviously that's what I think, because that's when I'm writing it about something kind of specific.
Right,
But
right.
someone could take that and run with it,
Yeah.
something to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like I wrote a song about my dad, like that's on the nose.
Yeah.
I wrote a song called Everything Changes, and that could be anything,
Right. Yeah.
So it's just like, it'll change. I don't try to do one specifically. I'll say it like that. I don't try to do one specifically.
You just let it come out, and like whatever's there is there.
produces from it,
That's cool.
that's
man.
what I'll give.
That's cool. Well, I'm excited to hear it, and thanks for coming in today and talking about music. And man, I just hope only the best things for you as a songwriter, you as a band. Like, keep doing your thing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
What do we play these games for? Cause I can't hide this anymore. And even when this night is dead and gone, you're still the one. Can't you see what you're doing to me? Let me go, set me free. So even when this night is dead and gone, you're still the one. You're still the one. You're still the one. You're still you're still the one. You're still the one. You're still the one.